Since independence, India has made significant development as a country, and we are currently among the top countries in the world on numerous measures. Industries have thrived and workers have relocated to cities in pursuit of greater opportunities. However, even today, a large portion of the population still live in rural India and work in small scale enterprises in villages and contribute considerably to India's GDP and may be considered as the engine that drives the Indian economy. While rural business opportunities are often encouraged by the government since they provide employment opportunities to the people residing in the area. Farming has always been the chief activity in rural areas with availability of land as well as labor, but certain businesses can be pursued along with farming or apart from farming as an alternative business. These businesses are quite lucrative and can definitely be explored as profitable business opportunities for aspiring entrepreneurs in the rural areas without having them to move to the urban regions to fulfill their ambitions. And one such popular business question is how to start poultry farming. Well, poultry farming is one of the fastest growing sectors in today's world. Poultry farming is all about raising turkeys, ducks, geese, and chickens for their meat or eggs. Each year, more than 50 million chickens are raised for food, including meat and eggs. Poultry farming ensures that customers get good quality eggs and meat which has been procured in hygienic conditions and makes these available fresh and at competitive prices. Also, owing to the increased stress on eating healthy, wholesome, and nutritious meals which are produced or grown originally, the demand for products from the poultry farms is also on the rise today. So, it's time for all those wishing to start their own business to take a plunge and reap huge benefits through broiler chicken farming.
Poultry industry in India means rearing of chickens, rearing of turkeys, rearing of ducks, and other birds as such. So here, as we are talking about broiler chicken farming in particular, broiler birds are the birds which are grown for meat purpose. In broiler industry also, in poultry industry, we have layer birds, we have broiler birds. Layer birds are the birds which are reared for getting commercial eggs, whereas broiler chicken are the birds which are grown for getting meat for the meat purpose. Country chicken and broiler chicken. Country chicken are the birds which you can grow in your backyard, but broiler chicken are genetically modulated and they are basically grown in poultry farms. Country chicken takes around 6 months to put on a body weight of around 2 kg, whereas broiler chicken, when taken care in a good through good management practices and given the best feed and environment, can put on 2 kg of body weight just within 5 weeks. So, and due to this, as I said, broiler chickens are genetically modulated. They are modulated in such a way that when given a feed ration which matches the nutrition requirement of the bird, it can put on the body weight in 5 weeks. That is 2 kg body weight in 5 weeks. But the problem so happens that the amount of body weight it puts in, the organs don't develop in a similar manner, like say heart or liver or kidney. All these things don't develop as fast as the muscle development of the bird. So sometimes the immunity of these birds are they are very sensitive to change in environment or very sensitive to diseases. So the good management practices really count a lot. Any poultry farmer must be really smart enough to decide the exact point of time at which he can place the day-old chicks. Because Indian consumers are very religious. There are a lot of religious factors that affect the poultry chicken rates. So it's always advisable to place the birds during Christmas, New Year, Diwali, as such. You know, when the consumption of the Indian consumers are high. So it's like very important to decide exactly at which point of time you can place the birds. And when we look back at around 5 years of poultry industry, in 12 months, around 8 months, the market rates are lower than the production cost, but 4 months, the market rates are quite higher than the production cost. So if we are smart enough, in case we place the birds in a year, we can put up to 6 batches. But it's not mandatory that you have to place 6 batches in a year. Instead, you plan smart. You plan in such a way that when your birds come into the market, it will be in a high demand phase where you can get high profits. So by placing just 3 or 4 batch in a year, you can make the entire year profit in these 3 or 4 batches. So it's always advisable to understand the industry properly, understand the market properly, and then place the birds accordingly. Poultry chicken has, a good source of vitamin B12. It's a good source of iron. It's a good source of zinc, copper, phosphorus. So it helps in your muscle development, which is very important. Also, it helps you to get a healthier bone. And the protein present in chicken has less trans fat when compared to mutton, or when you compare it with pork or beef, all the red meats. The poultry meat has less trans fat. So globally, the demand for poultry is increasing. That is, broiler chicken in particular is increasing. Broiler chicken can be raised in any part of India. But as I said, these birds are very sensitive. It needs to have particular temperature, particular ambience. If we can provide them with such ambience, like, the temperature which ranges from 26 to 28 degrees, or the humidity which is from around 60 to 80. So all these things helps a broiler bird to grow to its full capacity. So given the ambience or the environment what the bird needs, it can be grown in any part of the country. Indian climatic condition changes from state to state. See, if you go to Himalayan range, it's too cold over there. It might be -8 or, it goes to minus degrees. And if we go to states like Rajasthan, which has very high temperatures, so in these temperatures, you can't rear the bird in open shed. So poultry, like open shed in the sense, where you can utilize the natural environment. So in places like this with extreme climatic condition, it's advisable to go for environmental control shed, wherein the birds will be raised in closed premises, and the entire shed temperature, humidity control can be in your own hands. The disadvantage of this particular, I won't call it as disadvantage in particular, but then it requires huge investment, and you can't, like in open sheds, which you can start from around 500 number of birds, and it can go up to 30,000 birds. But in environmental control shed, a basic size of the shed would be around, 16,000 to make it economically viable. So it can't be started in a small way. It has to be started in a huge way. So in places like Rajasthan or any other northeast states, what I said, where the climatic conditions are extreme, you have to go for environmental control shed. Again, there will be pros and cons. You have to study your own region. There are places where the water gets freezed when, so as the temperature is very low. So such things you have to handle it yourself because you'll be quite good with it. So in places, in states wherein the temperature is quite good and it's not extreme cold or extreme hot, it's easier to grow broiler chicken because the production cost will be very low. But in places with extreme temperature condition, in case the temperature is too high, then we have to cool the shed. For cooling of the shed, it requires huge, high electricity. All this will add up to your production cost. So you can't compete with the places which is friendly with the broiler chicken. So what I would suggest is, like, in case you're able to handle this production cost and sell it at that rate in the market, so it's viable. Otherwise, it's very difficult to financially survive in this broiler industry. The rate of the day-old chicks, which was placed 6 weeks back, was around 38 rupees. So for a 10,000 batch, we need to spend 3,80,000 on chicks. And the feed cost to grow a bird of 2 to 2.2 kg body weight, right now, given the feed rates, we have to spend around 18 lakhs on the feed. And the medicine cost comes up to somewhere around 30,000 to 40,000. And then we have disinfection and rest other expenditure that might come up to 10,000. Then we need to spend on paddy husk, which we put on the floor for the floor padding, the paddy husk. But whatever we spend on the paddy husk, we get the amount by selling it as a manure. Okay, and then the expenditure involves the electrical cost, then the labor cost, and in case you've taken any loan, the EMIs. Then we do gas brooding. For that, we purchase commercial gas cylinders. The commercial gas cylinders will cost us around 22,000 to raise a batch of 10,000 birds. And then electricity charges. Because it is summer, we need to switch on 10 circulating fan of 1 HP motor each, 24 hours a day. So the electricity charges come up to 19,000 a month. That is for the entire batch, it might come up to around 40,000. So by summing up all these expenditure, given the current situation, it comes up to around 24 lakhs to raise a batch. Talking about profitability or income generation broiler farming, see, what I would like to say, it's always better to work backwards. So in case you're able to market your own birds, you'll be profitable throughout the year. I'm saying this because, see, the farm lifting rate as of now is 105 rupees per kg. And then the lifters, whoever lifts from the farm and puts it to the shop, keeps a margin of around 16 to 20 rupees. So by the time it reaches the shop, it becomes 105 to 125 rupees. Then the shop person keeps a margin of 30 to 40 rupees per kg and sells it at 150 to 160 rupees. So whereas you are getting 105 rupees. In case, in case you are able to market your own birds, that is, in case you are able to sell your own birds at 160 rupees, you'll always be profitable. So normal advice what I give to the people who would like to get into this industry is first understand the industry, get certain amount of experience, try to build a market wherein you can sell your own birds. Say you can sell around 500 birds in a week. Okay, that time it's better you put 500 capacity sheds, like 8 sheds of 500 capacity each, so that every week you'll have your own birds to be given off to the market. In this way, you can be profitable throughout the year. In case you're not able to sell your birds in retail market, okay, you are dependent on the lifters, you're dependent on the market rate. At that point of time, it's better to understand the market and place the birds only during high demand periods. So in case you're able to place around 6 batches in a year, because one batch requires 2 months. And in a year, there are 12 months, so 6 batches in a year. So you don't have to place the birds every, every 2 months. Instead, understand the market, just place 4 batches or 3 batches. But try to see you make maximum profit only in these batches and avoid the losses. At that time, poultry farming can be profitable. We have 2 farms, each of 10,000 capacity. And in each farm, in a year, we can rear around 6 batches. But normally we place around 4 or 5 batches by understanding the market trend. Okay, and there are times, when we have placed batch during New Year's and we have incurred huge losses. But there are times when the batches have come during off season and we've made good profits. So on an average, if I say in a 10,000 batch, we might have incurred a profit of around 1 to 1.5 lakhs in a batch.
Agribusiness is doing extremely well in Indian market these days, and this is the field that will last forever in the market. Poultry farming is one of the fastest growing, as I just mentioned, and it is also profitable agribusiness in the current Indian market scenario. Moreover, broiler chicken farming is one of the best ideas for those who want to pursue a successful agribusiness career in India. Some of the advantages of starting your own broiler chicken farming is that you don't have to invest huge amount of money. You can start this even with small capital. It is easy to maintain. You get good returns within a short period of time. There is huge global demand, easy marketing, etc. What more do you need apart from this? Now, before you go ahead and you begin your own broiler chicken farming, it's advisable that you gain a detailed knowledge right from the license that you need, the permissions you need to obtain, the space you might require, how you need to maintain your farm, how do you market, how much of profit can you make from this, etc. And the only place that you get an in-detail knowledge about businesses farming is only our Freedom app. So hurry up and download Freedom app, wherein you can watch this entire detailed course on how you can set up your own broiler chicken farming. Now, also before going, do not forget to hit on the like button, subscribe to the channel, and do not forget to hit on the bell icon to get notified for our next video. Thank you for watching IndianMoney.com. Get wise, break free.